On the tubes. I am live. Let's get this pointed in the right direction. All right, let's point in the right direction. Click this button over here. Go live on the Facebooks. Beautiful wife, could you do me a big favor? I have my Facebook live going. I have my YouTube live going. I have my bottle of wine. I have my microphone. I have my YouTube microphone. And I do not have a wine glass. Could you bring me a wine glass, please, beautiful wife? See, you do that the day before Valentine's Day. Don't forget, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So if you're alive today and you have a Valentine, you should probably be thinking about what you're going to be giving her tomorrow. Thank you, my beautiful Valentine. So today, whining with the professor. So I think it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we did Babylon's Peak Chenin Blanc, South African Chenin Blanc we did. So today I have Babylon's Peak Pinotage. Now the Pinotage is a South African grape. They created this this varietal in South Africa, and there's actually some pretty good information about it on the interwebs. And I believe if I search right here very quickly, Pinotage grape on the internet, I found earlier a really good blog post that talked about this. So I'm going to skip the Wikipedia. I'm sure Wikipedia has the correct information here, but I'm going to skip it. And we're going to look at winefolly.com blog, and there was a really good article about why you should give Pinotage a try. I'm going to come back over here to Facebook. I believe in my Facebook live stream here, I can share the screen. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. I can edit the post. I can create a poll. I can see video insights. I don't care about that stuff. There's supposed to be a way here that I can share my screen, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm just going to read to you guys. So it's winefolly.com, and the title of the blog post is "Give Pinotage Wine a Chance." And so Pinotage, it is not a Pinot Gris. It is not, and in fact, it's really not a Pinot Gris because it's a red wine. So it's not a Pinot Gris. It's actually not a Pinot Noir. And it's kind of misleading, I guess. A lot of people feel like that this Pinotage is a Pinot Noir, but it's a South African grape. It looks and tastes a lot like according to the blog post here, it looks and tastes a lot like a Syrah or a Shiraz, depending on how you prefer to pronounce that. I'll put a link in YouTube. I'll put a link down below for this blog post. In Facebook, I think the link goes above, or I don't know how that goes, but I'll put a link in the comments. But it's a grape that they created from crossing this Sin Sout grape, which is a South African grape, and the Pinot Noir. It was first crossed in South Africa in 1925, and it created this very black grape. They said we're talking about it. The bottle's still closed. Let's fix that. So I get the bottle open. Again, my favorite wine bottle closure, the screw cap. See what we got here? Whoops. It's really nice, and it's got this great sort of wine-ish, grapey aroma on the nose here. As you can see, I'm using all my wine snobbery skills that I can possibly use here. It smells like wine, but it smells like wine that I want to drink. So let's take a sip. So you get a little bit of tannin. It's really full and flavorful, but I don't want to say it's like jammy or fruit forward or anything. It's just it's got a little bit of that. I don't know, and I get this sometimes on Merlots or something, but I get a little bit of it's like I just had a bite of cheese a little while ago on the finish. There's a little bit of that out there, maybe like a really nice cheesecake. Hey, Emily, Could you turn the volume down just a little bit? I'm pretty sure that your Incredibles is on my video too, and we don't want to violate anybody's copyright for their soundtrack. So again, 2 days this week of snow day. On the first day, it didn't start snowing until about noon, but they canceled school preemptively. And on the second day, it had stopped snowing at about 7 o'clock the night before and then changed to rain. And they canceled school, I guess, because they believe everybody in Worcester is really crappy about clearing their sidewalks. And so I did it twice. I actually went out last night and cleared everything as well as I could. Then I went out again this morning, and I'm so glad that I had done it twice, because if I had had like 6 inches of this wet, heavy, crappy stuff, and then plus the plow furrows and stuff like that, that would have been horrible. So that worked out pretty good. But 2 days this week of no school. Last week I think they had a full week. Week before last, 2 days of no school. And then next week is school vacation week. It's like, how are these kids going to learn anything? But back to my Pinotage. So it says here that Pinotage used to have a bad reputation in the blog post here, and it's because I guess it's difficult for the winemaker to make a good wine with this, and they said you can tell a bad Pinotage because it tastes like nail polish remover, and not in a good way, not like the scented, flavorful nail polish remover, but the bad one. So I guess that's acetone. So if your Pinotage has a lot of acetone flavor, just put it away. That was a bad one. This one has no acetone at all. The tannins are pretty clear, and they say the grape, the peels of the grape, which is where the tannins come from, are very high in tannins. So you should expect to have a lot of tannins in this grape. That's really nice. It's really all around great for. We had fried chicken. We just fried in the air fryer today. And oh my god, I think I talked in the previous thing about the air fryer, but you've got to get you an air fryer. I use it 3, 4, 5 days a week because of, well, it makes great food. So we made chicken in the air fryer. It was a little salt, pepper, and rosemary on the chicken. And this is perfect to pair with that. It would be great with like a barbecued chicken, ribs, something like that. Is I really like this. I have not tried this before today, and it might be one of my new favorites, one of my new go-to wines. You gotta get this at the Wine Vine on Highland Street. They do a tasting every Friday from 5 to 7. I've mentioned that is the one event that's on my calendar, that has been on my calendar for about 5 or 6 years now. It never comes off. I don't always I don't always make it, but my phone always tells me I'm supposed to be there. So anyway, this is a great South African wine, the Babylon Peak Pinotage 2016. I think you can put this wine away for 5, 10, 15 years, and it'll be even better. And I may go get a case and do that with it, just to prove my point, assuming my beautiful wife lets me. She doesn't usually stop me from stuff like that. But whining with the professor. I get a lot of stuff that I've been thinking about and working on. Let me switch back over here to Facebook. So one of the things, and I mentioned that last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, that I was at that conference last weekend, I guess it was, at the conference in Miami. We're learning about sales and marketing tactics. And so one of the things that we're trying to do, so we have our software company, Anchor Labs, where we put people who want machining services together with people who can do that machining. It was actually a spin-off from our machine shop, DBT Robotics, when we started doing some Facebook ads. About 2.5 years ago, we started doing some Facebook ads to sell our excess capacity at the machine shop at DBT Robotics. And we very quickly had to shut the ads off because we outsold capacity. And so we did that, and then we worked through all the backlog, made all those parts, shipped them. We ran it again, and we very quickly again outsold capacity. And after repeating that, I think it was 3 or 4 times total that we repeated that, we realized that that's a different business model. And so I was working together with one of my students at the university, and he was actually an 18-year-old freshman at the time. And we said, well, if we wanted to be really good at this, what would we do? And so we tried a few things, and we ran it inside DBT Robotics as a doing business as a DBA for about the first year. We're trying these different things, and we said this is things got legs. We're gonna spin it off as a separate corporation. So we spun it off as a separate corporation. That was his business. I think we retained 5% of the shares. He had 95% of the shares, and operated again for another year in building the algorithms, figuring out how to do this stuff. It's amazing because it's a software company. It has no physical assets. In fact, the company itself owns one label printer because everybody that was working brought their own computers, and all the software resides on servers on the cloud. And so that part of it's just amazing to me because we're in the business of acquiring physical machine shops that have a lot of capital assets, and it's very capital intensive. So the whole software side of it is amazing to me. But at any rate, so we're doing this. A couple of months ago, he told me that he had decided that he's going to take a job at Apple, and that if he is an employee at Apple, he cannot own a software company, or at least it's the reporting and the regulations and the things. It's very difficult. So he could, but it would be impractical for him to own a software company. So in the past couple of weeks, we figured all this stuff out. We've actually DBT Robotics now bought back the software to get more people to do that. We're looking at a bunch of different marketing techniques, and that's one of the reasons that I was at this conference. I guess 2 weeks ago now, or a week ago last Saturday, um, is to figure out how do we best utilize the internet and the web to get customers in here. And so the first thing that you need is you need a lead, right? You need somebody who's a potential customer that you could follow up with, that you could make sales calls on, that you could offer them your services. And the next thing you need, of course, once you've got a lead, is you need a customer. And so we're trying out a new thing. It's launching later this week, and so we're trying to teach our potential customers and give them valuable free information about how to make better designs, so that when they send us their designs, it's actually easier for us to create the quotes. It's easier to make the parts, and they get a cheaper part back because they made a better design, and it meets their needs. And so since I've been teaching that kind of thing for the last 13 years, I think I'm pretty good at it. And so we're actually we're doing a marketing campaign where you can go to the website. And it's not live yet, but it'll be designclass.us, and you can probably go there tomorrow, and it'll be up and running. But so they go to this designclass.us. They sign up for a free webinar where I talk about the things that you need to understand in order to do these good designs. And then at the end of the webinar, I offer them to sign up for our master class, where you can pay, depending on, we're still working on pricing. And there's the value sort of, you if you figure out how much, like if you went to a university to learn this stuff. So if you came to the school where I teach to learn all this stuff, you'd actually have to take 3 different classes, and they would charge you almost $5,000 for each of those classes. So the stuff that I'm going to teach in this master class is actually the equivalent of about 3 university classes, about $15,000 worth of value. And it would take you about 21 weeks to learn that stuff, and we're doing it in 7 weeks. It's compressed, it's condensed, and doing that to offer that to our customers. And I argued that we should charge like $5,000 for people to take this class, and so they talked me into to something lower. So we're gonna do $997 to take it. And you get a bunch of benefits with that. You get about an hour of consulting time with me. You get a couple more hours of consulting time with our team at Anchor Labs if you need help figuring out how to design your part. But it was kind of interesting. So when I'm learning how to do all this marketing stuff, the thing is, you've got to people all purchase decisions are based on emotion. And this has been statistically proven by all kinds of different people that study this stuff. And believe me, marketing people are good at math. They understand statistics because they got to know what worked and what didn't work. And so they figured out that all purchase decisions are based on emotion. And so in order to make an emotional connection with your customers, you have to tell stories. And so I that has always, maybe not always, but certainly for the last 5 or 6 years, that has been my primary teaching technique while I'm teaching at the university is to tell stories, to try to inspire the students to want to learn the material and then provide them with the resources to learn it. Because if they don't want to learn the material, it really doesn't matter how much you throw at them, how much knowledge you give them, they're never going to learn it. So I've been working on the story, and they say you have to actually, and so in these marketing classes that I've been taking, they say you have to actually tell this backstory, this connection that shows that you are like you used to be, like where they are now, and that you've achieved success, but you still remember what it was like to be like them. And then they feel rapport with you, empathy with you, and so it's kind of cool stuff that we're looking at. I did tell you that I've studied brainwashing in order to become better at teaching. And some of it's like that. Can you control the customer's emotions to get them to well, drink wine? All right, so no, we'll cue the subliminal messages. Right, go to the wine vine. Go to the wine vine. Right, no. So I have told you guys several times that I want you to go to the wine vine. I want you to buy wine there because I love staying with Camille who run the wine vine, and it's really, really convenient for me to go there to buy wine, and I don't want to have to find a new wine shop. So go to the wine vine, buy wine there. You could actually go to winevine.com. I think it's winevine.com. Let me double check that real quick here. Winevine.com. Let me learn to spell. Wine. Wine.com. Waiting. Wait. Nope, not scared. Wait. Circling. Winevine.com. Is that the right website? I don't think so. Maybe it's the Wine Vine. I'm Googling the Wine Vine. Oh, sorry, they're at winevine.org. Winevine.com is something else. Don't go there. I don't care about those people. If you go to winevine.org, this is the website I was expecting to see. They actually have some. You can purchase wine and gifts. You can go online and do this. Worcester's Best Wine and Brew Selection, 2008 to 2012, per Worcester City Living Magazine. So you can go there. One thing that they are fabulous at that you should check out, especially if you're not in Worcester and you can't just drop by, is you should check out their gift baskets. The gift baskets are amazing. They ship them around the country. They can actually ship wine around the country too. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. But winevine.org if you want to check that out. So please go buy from them. Back to my story though. So my story. So in order to get you to trust me and believe me, I have to tell you something about my background. So I've been working on they call it the origin story, and I've got to get you to believe that I'm sort of like you. And so our target market here is basically young engineers and design engineers, engineers in so engineering students. We're also looking at the budding entrepreneur or entrepreneur, the person who has the solution to the problem, and they want to figure out how to make it so that they can sell it. They want to get the prototypes. So that's the in this marketing campaign. What we're looking for is people that want to make prototypes, and so I've been working on sort of starting that out, and since you guys are here, and if you're still here, I hope you've been drinking wine. but I wanted to sort of to test out the beginnings of my origin story, and I start in I got a script for this. Let me just pull up the script so I don't screw it up. Right, there's no sense not saying what I meant to say, right? The other one. All right, give me just a second. It's in Google Docs. Pull up my Google Docs. Google Docs. Doo, doo, doo. Drive. Coming. It's coming. It's coming. Internet is probably slow because I'm streaming 2 live videos. Emily's watching a movie, and Michelle's probably watching something too. So, Professor Bergstrom origin story. Come on, open. So, so it starts out with an odd memory from my childhood that stands out sort of crystal clear to me. And I don't know if you've thought about what do you remember from your childhood? What are those crystal clear memories from your childhood? But this one is crystal clear. It comes out. I remember it so frequently. So we're on the way to the beach. Windows are rolled down. I remember the smell of the vinyl seats that have been baking in the sun. There's this hot feeling in the smell of the like hot sea air. I was sitting on the floor in the back of the station wagon. I was sitting in like the footwell behind the driver's seat. A couple of my best friends were in the back seat with me, and my mother was driving. It's a silver Malibu station wagon. She's driving this station wagon across the Tybee Island Bridge on the way to the beach. And my friends and we were talking about cars. We were talking about our dream cars, the cars that when we became successful, we were going to own that car. And they get these guys. They were hung up on some Lamborghini or something. And honestly, I wasn't listening because I was thinking about my car. I wasn't thinking about what they wanted. I was throwing out words and stuff, but I was thinking about my car. And anyway, they were hung up on some Lamborghini or something else. I wasn't really paying attention. My car was a bright red 308 GTS Ferrari. The one Magnum drove. And I remember that so distinctly. And I also remember the kids saying, "Well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to get my dream car." And no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and that's how I'm going to get my dream car. And I remember thinking, sitting in the floor behind my mother's seat, thinking, they're not going to do that. Even if they do that, they're not going to get their dream car. They're not going to be successful doing that. And I remember having those thoughts. I actually said it, but I sub vocalized. I was like, I don't have a chance, but I'm getting mine. So fast forward to today. I haven't seen either of those guys for like 40 years, and I have no idea how their car quests went. Maybe you could find one or both of them on the internet standing in front of a rented Lambo trying to sell you a get rich quick scheme. And maybe they actually got one after all. I mean, what do I know? What did I know then? I was 9 years old, right? So I never did get that 308 GTS. By the time I could, my interest had moved on. And so that's sort of the beginning of my story. I could go on and talk about the about what I know about engineering and stuff like that, but it's like how do you sell that emotion? And so I tested this out in class this week, and I said I had all the students. I said, raise your hand if you were ever a child, beginning of class, and so amazingly enough, everybody in the class at the beginning at least was awake enough that they all raised their hands. Like they all admitted that at one point in their life they had been a child. I said, keep your hand up if you ever had something that you wanted, some vision for the future, for your careers, for your things, and they all still kept their hands up. I mean, there was this girl that kept putting her hand down because she wanted to take notes, but she put her hand back up when I look at her, and so sort of testing the whole thing, and I said. And then I went on talking about dreams and goals and stuff like that. I probably dragged on for too long, and finally I said, "All right, you guys can put your hands down." But I still had mine up in the air, right? And so I'm doing this through the class, and then I said, "All right, so I just want to see. So if you had ever, as a kid, so as a child, did you ever dream about having a car?" And I said, "Now, I don't. It's okay. You don't have to raise your hand. It's just like all the guys' hands went up. They all dreamed about a car, right? And a couple of the women, their hands went up. But it's funny. So I do actually wonder what the women were dreaming of when we were dreaming of cars, and maybe I'll find out someday. But so so I went around the room and asking people what their car was, and then I talked about my GT 308 GTS Ferrari, and I really, well, I mean, heck, Magnum was out in like 1980, and I could probably get a 308 GTS, a 1980 308 GTS for like 10 grand or something now. So maybe I'd just go get one, so I could say that I finally got one. But my moments have moved on from that, and it's kind of amazing. It's kind of cool going through this program and this class to learn how to sell this stuff because it's true. If you have to, if you're going to buy something, especially a fairly large ticket item from somebody, you have to identify with them. You have to believe that they're a real person, and you have to believe that they can help you solve your problem, whatever your problem is. And it's been fun for me. We've been working on that. I got actually a whole bunch of other things that I'm working on also. So I don't know if we're going to release that marketing campaign this week or next week. But when we do, I will certainly tell you about it here because I have an audience, and I've got to talk about everything I'm doing to my audience here. So both of you that are watching right now can look forward to hearing about this when it gets released. And that's kind of all I have to say tonight. So it's fun to be an engineer and study marketing. I think actually tonight I realized that once I become rich and famous and everybody wants to know about me, I'll have to write a biography, an autobiography, maybe. And I figured out that the title for my autobiography tonight, I'm gonna have to go trademark this tonight probably. The title for my autobiography is going to be The Extroverted Engineer. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Get some of this Pinotage, give it a try. You can go to the blog post that I was reading from earlier at winefolly.com, and I'll put links to this. And certainly go to winevine.org. Find yourself a basket, order it, send it to somebody. Hey, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. You could send a basket for Valentine's Day. I'm certain that they will rush that delivery. So, and go buy wine at the Wine Vine so that I don't have to find a new place to shop.